Hey everyone, I want to talk about Minnesota's mask mandate that came down from on high a couple weeks ago. And this might apply to other states as well, but I'm most familiar with Minnesota. And I want to talk about that mandate, that edict that came down from the king, the governor of Minnesota, and talk about it. A lot of people are under the impression they have to wear a mask out in public or in public spaces and or at their company because businesses are required to enforce the mask mandate within their company. And I want to talk about why I'm exempt from that. And I want to talk about why you might be exempt as well. Now, a lot of people understand that you have to wear a mask or you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get a fine, or in some places, they're even saying you're going to get a Class B misdemeanor, which is absolutely ridiculous, especially given the fact that, a lot of states have been letting out criminals from the jail systems when coronavirus, first happened. So that's kind of crazy that you can be thrown in jail or fined for not wearing a mask. But so most people understand that you have to wear a mask or you're going to get in trouble, or you have to enforce that your employees are going to have to wear a mask, or the business is going to get in trouble. And, if you look at the actual edict in Minnesota, what it says is you have to wear a mask unless you are exempt. And I want to talk about the exemptions because the exemptions are pretty important. There are three main exemptions that I want to talk about. I want to tell you why these things apply to me and how they might apply to you. Now, before I go into some of the reasons why they apply to me, understand that I'm not required to give you, my company, anyone else the details as to why I'm exempt from the mask mandate, because doing so would require that I give up my personal health information, and that is protected by federal HIPAA regulations. Let me say that again. I'm not required to give up my personal health information, i.e., why I'm exempt from the mask mandate, because doing so would be a federal HIPAA regulation violation. So the company you work for cannot ask you why you're exempt. All they can do is say, why aren't you wearing a mask? And all you need to do is say you're exempt. The mandate in Minnesota also does not say that you need a doctor's note that says, yeah, you are exempt. The Minnesota edict, actually, all it says is here are a few examples of reasons why you might be exempt, different conditions, but it says there's no specific list of conditions that need to be met in order to get an exemption under these three types of exemptions. So just understand that there's no mandate to get a doctor's note. If somebody says, well, you should seek outside counsel, then you have counseling with somebody. Counseling just means you talk to somebody. I talk to people all the time. And so if you just want to talk to a friend, family member, coworker, somebody about issues you're having, then I guess you've gotten counseling. So let's go into examples as to why I'm exempt and why, if you take a look at yourself, you might be exempt too. So there are three main types of exemptions in the Minnesota mask mandate, and those are medical reasons, mental health reasons, and communication problems. And I fit into all three of these categories. I'm going to tell you why. So first, let's concentrate on the communication issues. Now, if you look on the website, Minnesota's website, it gives you examples of what constitutes communication issues, but it doesn't limit communication issues to any one or two specific things. I'm somebody personally that I rely on visual facial cues from other people in order for me to be able to determine how well a conversation is going and if I should adjust what I'm saying or lead the conversation in a specific direction based on visual cues I get from people. I find that to be more difficult when people are wearing masks because I'm not able to pick up on those visual cues, but there's nothing I can do about that because if people are going to wear a mask, that's their decision. But I'm also somebody that I make use of facial expressions myself in order to communicate my thoughts, my ideas, get across the nuances of the topic that I'm trying to discuss, the thing that I'm conversing with somebody about. And so I find it difficult to actually communicate effectively when my face is covered by a mask. And, it's like the nuances of whether I'm smirking, frowning, I've got my mouth open in amazement, wonder, or I'm sticking my tongue out in disgust or whatever. Those can't actually be seen by the person I'm talking to because I've got a mask covering my face. So I have problems with communication. When it comes to mental health issues, a second category of exemptions, mental health is anything that happens up here in your head. And that's a really, really broad category of things. It encompasses thoughts that you have, emotions that you feel. Emotions are a cross between mental health and medical, because emotions affect your body physiology, or your physiology, and also your mental health. So emotions kind of cross the line there. But let's go into mental health thing. The things with regards to the exemptions. When I put a mask on, it makes me irritated and angry that somebody on high is telling me what I need to do with my body. So I get, when I get angry, irritated, frustrated, my heart rate increases, my blood pressure goes up. That's a medical issue. It causes medical issues in my body. I get embarrassed, and embarrassed and just, sad. And I guess, when I've got something covering my face that maybe gives me a tan line, or that it's like, I feel embarrassed and sad that I actually have to wear this. And I get depressed about the fact that, society has gotten to a point where so many people are mask shaming others for not wearing a mask, or for wearing a mask, when it really should be up to the decision of each and every person. I get depressed at how I see this country. I feel like going down, a path of, being in not such a great place when it comes to liberties or loss of liberties. So I experience a rush of emotions when I have to wear a mask, and so it affects my mental health and my physical body, which falls into the medical conditions. I also have this fear of suffocation, and this and claustrophobia too. I'm sure, like, in a past life, I died of suffocation in a small box or something. But I'm a bit claustrophobic, and I definitely have a fear of suffocation. I don't like anything that reduces the oxygen flow coming into me. I also am very concerned about the medical conditions that result if you're wearing a mask and you are rebreathing your CO2, because it can result in a medical condition called hypercapnia, which is not good. If you look up the conditions of hypercapnia, what actually happens with your body, it is not good at all. You do not want to get your body in that state. So that stresses me out when I'm wearing a mask, because I know I'm not getting fresh oxygen into my body. So I've got issues with that. Other than that, like medical issues, that it's like I get chafing, irritation on my skin from wearing the mask. I get, it's like that. It kind of hurts around the ears when I wear a mask, and I don't like that. That falls into the medical category. But the biggest, broadest one, in my opinion, it's a mental health one. Whether you get agitated, irritated, angry, sad, depressed, scared, whatever it is, those things, those emotions affect your mental health and affect your physical body, which is a medical issue. So those are some examples of things in each category: communication, mental health, and medical issues, that can put you in the class of being exempt from having to wear a mask. And if you're ever asked about why you aren't wearing a mask, then, just tell somebody you're exempt due to medical reasons, or, just tell them you've got an exemption, period, and leave it at that. Unfortunately, we have this thing in society where a lot of people, I've seen on social media, you probably have too, where a lot of people are mask shaming others and saying, well, if you cared about other people, then you put a mask on. It's like that. To me, that's complete BS, because we're all smart. When we get the flu, we don't go near our grandparents or great grandparents or people who, have underlying conditions, whatever it might be. We stay away from them. We're smart enough to do that. And we're also, I think everybody's smart enough, like when you cough or you sneeze, to cover your cough. And obviously, if you're feeling sick, don't go to work. Don't go see people, who might have, health issues of their own. And if you're really bad, stay home. Good Lord, get some sleep, drink your fluids, all that kind of stuff. There's no reason to, in my opinion, shut down society for something that, we've seen that has a fatality rate that is less to or comparable to the common flu that we see every winter. This is absolutely insane to me. And if the edict does come down that you have to wear a mask, realize there are exemptions. Also realize that the company that you work for cannot discriminate against you for not wearing a mask. And this applies to small businesses as well, and even the big ones, because it is a violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. If you have an exemption to the mask mandate, it means you have the disability to wear a mask, or the disability from wearing a mask. And for somebody to discriminate against you for not wearing a mask, that would fall under the Americans with Disabilities Act, and that's not good. Companies can face really big fines for violating your rights as an American citizen with a disability. So just keep that in mind. Just as a reminder, your personal health information is protected by federal HIPAA regulations, so your employer can't ask about the details as to why you are exempt, and you also cannot be discriminated against in the workplace or elsewhere because of your disability to wear a mask. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful to you guys. I hope you guys stay safe out there, stay sane. I think the sanity is more important than anything these days. It's mental health is really important in today's day and age, much more so, in my opinion, than the actual COVID issue itself, because based on the data that's out there that, that a lot of people have seen, myself included, it's not that big of a deal. Even though cases go up, it's like, there are a whole bunch of reasons for it: bad testing, false positives, the fact that the common flu and the common cold are part of the coronavirus family. So if you've ever had those, or you've had them recently, especially, you're going to test positive, and just a lot of, in my opinion, ridiculousness. So anyway, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll see you guys around soon. Take care.